another incident that comes to mind was in 1969. We had this temple in La Cienega Boulevard in Los Angeles. And actually, it might have been 1968. Anyway, it was 68 or 69. And it was very well attended. The temple was very well attended. The devotees would go to Griffith Park in Los Angeles and have chanting and prasadam distribution. Vishnu John had little puppets. We have puppet shows there. And we would bring back people from Griffith Park. And also, we would go down to Laguna Beach, all the way from Los Angeles to Laguna Beach. There was a store down there, the Mystic Arts bookstore. And they had a meditation room in the back, and they would let us go and have kirtan. So we'd bring, van loads of people from Laguna Beach up to Los Angeles for the feast. So the feasts were very well attended. So on this particular day, there was a fire jagga. People were getting initiated, and Srila Prabhupada was there. He was presiding over the jagga himself, as he did in those days. And the temple was very full with people, and there was an Italian filmmaking crew at the temple at that time, and they were filming the whole thing. And if somebody could get hold of that film, it would be a historical piece of footage. But Srila Prabhupada was there, and this one lady came, a Hindu lady, came into the temple. And she was a guru to these Hindus. Her name was Shama Devi. And she ended up having a ashram right next to the Krishna Balaram temple in Vrindavan. But anyways, she came into the temple, and she was sitting in the back of the temple. And they rolled out her carpet, and she sat down on the carpet, and her disciples were older Hindu ladies and gentlemen. They sat around her, and Srila Prabhupada was performing the jagga. So Srila Prabhupada, after he finished the jagga, he went up and got on the stage. And in those days, we had Prabhupada's Vyasasan seated right on the stage at the same level as the altar. Srila Prabhupada was having a kirtan, and he was playing his kartals, and he was leading the kirtan, and then he told someone else to lead. Maybe it was Vishnu Jana or something like that. So in those days, the kirtans were ecstatic, but they weren't uproarious because of the dance step we used to do. We used to do the Swami step, and the Swami step was a choreographed step that everybody would very in coordination with one another dance, put one foot in front of the other, one foot in front of the other. The arms would be upraised like that, and we'd all be chanting and dancing like that. A long aisle of devotees on either side, facing one another, and we dancing back and forth, having kirtan. So Srila Prabhupada, during the course of this kirtan, he got up from his Vyasasana, and he was doing the Swami step with us, like that. We were all doing the Swami step. And then Srila Prabhupada did something that he had never done before. Nobody had ever experienced this before. Srila Prabhupada stopped doing the Swami step, and he started jumping up and down. Jumping up and down. We had never done this jumping up and down. No one ever knew about jumping up and down. We just knew the Swami step. And we were all happy doing the Swami step. But now, Srila Prabhupada was jumping up and down. And it was the most amazing thing, because it seemed like the whole universe was rocking. But Srila Prabhupada started to jump up and down. So we looked at each other and we said, wow, Prabhupada's jumping up and down. I guess we can jump up and down too. So it's never been the same since then. Kirtan has never been the same. The Swami step is still there, but it's only done by very conservative devotees. Everybody likes to jump up and down and really get into the uproarious kirtan. So Srila Prabhupada was jumping up and down. The devotees were jumping up and down, bouncing off the walls. It was fantastic. So meanwhile, this lady, Shama Devi, she was there, and she was having kirtan. And one of her disciples opens a bag and gives her a little madanga. So, whoa. In those days, usually there was one madanga per temple. one mridanga, and only certain devotees could play that mridanga. Those were devotees who were good mridanga players and who wouldn't drop it or put their hand through the end of it. You know, they had to be good mridanga players, and they also had to be very concerned that the mridanga didn't get damaged, because in those days we didn't have our, you know, American-made plastic mridangas. So if a mridanga got broken, you'd have to send off to India for it. It took a long time to get it, and we didn't have the import-export thing happening so proficiently in those days. So, but they pulled out a mridanga, a little small clay mridanga, coal, and they gave it to her, and she started playing the mridanga. So we kind of stepped aside, and she kind of moved her way up to the front, and Srila Prabhupada, he's jumping up and down, dancing. And all the devotees are dancing, and she's playing this mridanga. And she starts to dance. And she starts to float around like a butterfly, taking these little small steps. And she's an elderly lady. She's about 50 or 60. She's elderly, but very, very conservative. And she's dancing around like a little butterfly, you know, with her sari over her head. And she's playing the mridanga like a gopi. So all the female devotees now, all right, here was a Vaishnava, she could play the mridanga, she was dancing, and Prabhupada was obviously approving it, because he was up there on the stage, jumping up and down. So, then Prabhupada jumps off the stage, and he's in with the devotees, amongst the devotees, jumping up and down, chanting Hare Krishna, and this lady, Shama Devi, she's playing the mridanga and she's dancing. And then the kirtan ends, and then Srila Prabhupada says, now you lead. So she starts to lead the kirtan. Now, the women are really ecstatic. Now, there's another precedent. We can lead kirtans too. We can jump, we can dance, we can play the mridanga, and now we can also lead kirtans, because here, this old lady is doing it, Prabhupada's approving it, he's doing it, he's allowing her to do it. So everybody was in total, euphoria there. And she led the most melodious kirtan, and went on and on. Srila Prabhupada was dancing, and she was dancing, and it built up. And it was the most fantastic experience that all the devotees could have had. So, before the dust even settles from the kirtan, the devotee is on the phone to New York. Prabhupada's jumping! Prabhupada's jumping! What do you mean he's jumping? He said, you don't have to do the Swami step anymore. Prabhupada's jumping up and down. The kirtan was going on. Prabhupada was jumping, running up, back and forth, jumping up and down. And Brahmananda was saying, well, how do you do it? How do you jump? He said, you don't have to do it. You just jump up and down. Just be ecstatic. Put your hands up in the air and just jump as high as you can do. So Brahmananda called Boston. Boston called Montreal. And within a matter of hours, the whole country was jumping. And like I said, kirtan's never been the same since that time.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare